Hello everyone, this is Jonathan J. Dog Letterman and you're tuned in to the Anything Bucket on WRPBI TV. Tonight in our studio we have the Executive Director of the National Alliance on Mental Illness, and we are going to help you to get your life straight. She's not only got great projects coming up, but she has great resources to share with you. Please welcome Shelby Decker to the Anything Bucket. Shelby, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
And I'm very excited that you're here because mental illness is one of those things that it kind of gets swept under the rug.
It does.
Nobody wants to admit, I've got issues.
Well, not only that, there is a certain stigma that that comes with mental illness, and it really shouldn't, because it's a very broad category. We have accomplished the stigma of cancer beforehand, and 20 years ago it was like cancer, no one really said it. But this is an issue that we need to address, and the program NAMI has, which is the National Alliance on Mental Illness, has been in Broward County for the past 30 plus years. But the issues that are coming up in hand in the sense of affecting our youth with the bullying and the shootings in the schools, and then also the bipolar and the ADD and the schizophrenia. Mental illness has a very broad umbrella with all these different divisions and issues that need to be addressed.
And it affects so many, and sometimes we're afraid to speak up and seek help, and that's where NAMI comes in, because you break down that wall, that barrier. And I was looking, I know that you don't have professional staff, counselors on, but you do become a clearinghouse per se, a resource center, where when somebody calls into NAMI and wants to find out, my son just got diagnosed with ADD, ADHD.
Exactly.
Where can I go for help? What type of support groups are there? If you could tell us a little bit more about that, and if you can share any success stories that you all have had by being a resource center for families.
Well, first of all, 1 out of 4 people in Broward County have mental illness. And like I said before, it covers that broad range of anywhere from ADD all the way to schizophrenia and also borderline personality. So we are trying to touch everyone. And with our programs, we have support groups for the consumer, which are the people who are dealing with the mental illness one-on-one. Also, their families so that need that support are really grasping and saying, like you said, where do I go from here after the diagnosis? And then also we have a program for the parents who are dealing with the children, and they really don't know the resources that are available to them through their schools or their local communities. And we try to provide what they need, per se, in the sense that no, we're not counselors. We don't have a professional staff. But we are a resource. We know the agencies that are most likely be able to help them, and that we give them direction and give them that support. And not only that, we have support meetings on a weekly basis that allows them to come and listen and join other families who are dealing with the same issues, because you're not alone. And that's one of the things that happens, is that you get so caught up in your own crisis per se, and it's like, here's my issue, this is the situation I'm dealing with right now, but no one understands. And that's not the truth. There is other people dealing with this and that can help you and give you guidance and direction. I always say, you always tag along someone who's been through the system, because they know the ins and out of the system much better than anyone. So that's what we were trying to do, be that guide, that big sister, be that family of support.
And I know you have a lot of success stories. I've seen a few on the website.
Right.
People have come to you for help. And the one thing that really amazed me when I was on your website, there was a section on the funding. And I was amazed that we only dedicate $39 per resident in Broward County,
and it's decreasing,
towards mental health. And there's all these cuts that are happening. And I know that NAMI is doing what they can to bridge the gap, and that's what one of the special events you have coming up is all about.
Right. Well, let me just piggyback a little bit on that. One of the major things, as a matter of fact, last week I was at the VA clinic, and they are cutting long-term support groups. And there's this one group of gentlemen, Vietnam vets, that have been meeting for the past 6 years in the same day, same place, and they're no longer able to meet there, and they're not going to have their facilitator. They have brought us in to see if we are a match with them and would be able to continue their meeting, because mental illness is, yes, they're dealing with postpartum depression from the war that they deal with even after so many years. But the whole thing is that that little group of 18 men have become their security, their family. They talk about issues that they're dealing with is continuing from that war, and we want to support that. And we're reaching out to groups like that so we can help them overcome the depression and see what needs to be done in the sense of even medication or guidance that way, and be an advocate, be a voice for them, but also be a voice to the groups with mental illness in the legislative form. You know, all the elections are coming up, and mental illness is not really one of those, as you said, main focus things, but it should be and needs to be, and that's what we're trying to do. Regarding the funding, yes, all the funding is being cut, as always, like I said, in this one group. And our group is a nonprofit, and it primarily survives on an annual event that we started last year, and it's a walk. Our second event is coming up this year, November 8th, at Tradewind Parks in Coconut Creek. Last year we had over 800 people participate. It was a great, fabulous event on a Saturday morning. It's a 5K, we just walk. As I put, sometimes we stroll, but depending on where you are in the line. So don't be scared that it's 5K. It's a fabulous event. A lot of people from the community come out. We try and make it a great family event. We allow people to bring their dogs. So we have a dog contest. We have face painting for the kids, and some other events. We have 2 honorary chairs this year. Scott Israel, who was the honorary chair last year, is putting BSO right behind us this year. We're going to definitely have the vehicles out there. We've asked for the canines and the bloodhounds and also the SWAT teams, and they're going to have about 42 teams themselves there. And it's just going to be a great, great community event of all different sectors coming together and bringing a voice to this issue. And
you mentioned there was a second honorary chair. If you can tell us a little bit about that chairperson.
That chair is the public defender, Howard Finkelstein, and he has been so gracious with his time and promoting this along in the courthouse. He was with Judge Ginger Wren a couple of Fridays ago, supporting us. And in addition to that, he has just finished a public service announcement that students from the Art Institute filmed for us. So this, and he's willing to come out and do speeches and to give us his full support.
And that's fantastic. If somebody wanted to get involved and come to the walk, or register or sponsor the walk, and on another note, if they weren't able to come to the walk but still wanted to make a donation, do you have something like that in place for them?
Absolutely. There's many things that you can do. Even if you want to volunteer, you could call the office. The office number is 954-316-9907. Or you could definitely register on the website, which is namibroward.org, which is our personal website, in which you could become membership and also check out the programs. But if you want to be specifically regarding the walk, go to namiwalks.org/Broward, and you will see exactly what our goals are, where we are, form a team. You can participate as a single walker. If you just want to even join a team, I have a team right now. It's called Shelby Stars. And if you don't want to walk, but you want to be a participant and go fundraising, join underneath me. I have no problem, or anyone. And you could just use all the tools that are there. They have email set up for you. They have connections to your Facebook. So if you want to post it on your Facebook, they have everything there that you need to start funding your team.
Excellent. And we want to thank Shelby Decker, the Executive Director for NAMI, that's the National Alliance for Mental Illness. for being here today. Check out that website. It's namiwalks.org/Broward. Get all your information about that. And if you don't want to walk and you just want to come out and support them, they will be collecting donations. And I'm sure that you're looking for some in-kind donations as well. If there's a food vendor that's watching that wants to help out, call up and get involved, and let's help people get on a path to wellness so they can be mentally and physically fit.